I've been accused of having government handlers, government handlers, government handlers, government handlers, government handlers. Now that one was rooted, that particular accusation came from someone who, oh boy, individuals, a family that really believes they are the last holders of Mr. Herbert Armstrong's standard. They are surrounded by people all over the world that believe they too are the last holders of Mr. Armstrong's standard, but they had a special passion for it, and they would just write me and rail about the church. And one of the things they'd write about is the fact that Herbert W. Armstrong, they said, would never make his church a 501c3 corporation. And so they said, there's no way he would ever do that. And so eventually, after all these things, I got a little fed up. And so I actually did go online, because all these things are public records, these filings. And I found a copy, when the church was on track, by the way, of the actual filing documents where Herbert W. Armstrong signed it in his own hand, that literally says on the page, the church is a 501c3 organization. That literally says on the page, the church is a 501c3 organization. That literally says on the page, the church is a 501c3 organization. That literally says on the page, the church is a 501c3 organization. That literally says on the page, the church is a 501c3 organization. I didn't hear from him anymore after that, you know? But do they still say that? I actually bumped into something they wrote now. It's been years and years later, and of course they still say that. Because sometimes you don't have an idea. The idea has you. A second warning when it comes to conspiracy theories. And I say this again, like whether they're true or false, they really do seem to be in a special category where they're just a little more dangerous. They're just a little more. It's like, I'm not trying to say, again, they're all false. I'm not trying to say that at all. I am saying that there's a special kind of danger, and we have to be careful of. So in this case, a second warning. I mentioned that a while ago, and I won't turn there then for the sake of time, but I'll give you the reference to it. The proverb that says, he who answers a matter before he hears it, it is a folly and shame to him. And that's Proverbs 18 and verse 13 for reference. Don't just believe me, believe your Bible. 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 He who answers a matter before he hears it, it's a folly and a shame to him. Well, at least in my experience, and that's what I'm trying to base this on, it's ironic because sometimes conspiracy theorists will claim that you're failing that, when in my experience, it's almost universally the other way around. Because you present issues that should say there are problems with your theory. You have to at least admit that it's filled with holes and it's riddled with irrationality. And then you find it really wasn't worth it. Like handing individuals a piece of paper that literally has Mr. Armstrong's signature on it, saying exactly the opposite of what they claim with a fierce passion he would ever do. that literally says on the page, the church is a 501c3 organization. That literally says on the page, the church is a 501c3 organization. That literally says on the page, the church is a 501c3 organization. That literally says on the page, the church is a 501c3 organization. That literally says on the page, the church is a 501c3 organization. But again, these ideas, it is like a kind of possession, but not demonic possession. I'm not saying that. It's always difficult if I write that in an email to someone who's written me. That's like, well, you're saying I'm demon possessed? No, I'm not. It's just that possession is a great word. Because often people think they have an idea, but the idea has them. They think that this is something that they've worked hard. They possess a thought, but actually the thought has them. It's like they are in its clutches. And you're trying to free, in a sense, the idea from them when really they need someone to save them from the idea.